News overnight, an inmate in an Ohio jail who escaped from a behavioral hospital in Columbus has been captured. The Crawford County Sheriff's Office says 38-year-old Jacob Davidson was arrested last night by West Virginia State Police. He had been on the run for 3 days. He escaped Thursday night from the Twin Valley Behavioral Health Hospital on West Broad Street in Columbus. He's facing 4 felony charges related to an alleged shootout with a Crawford County deputy.
Police are searching for an officer-involved shooting suspect who escaped custody from a Columbus hospital. Police are searching for 38-year-old Jacob Davidson, and right now he is facing charges stemming from a shootout with police in Morrow County last month. If you can help, he's right there on your screen. If you can help police find him, call 911.
Now to a manhunt. We have breaking news. That manhunt underway for 2 men who broke free from a mental hospital overnight. One of them is an accused killer. Authorities warning they are considered dangerous. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has been tracking all of the latest for us. Good morning to you, Pierre.
Good morning, Amy. That's right. Citizens of Washington state are waking up to some bad news and need to be on the lookout. These men are violent and possibly unstable. One of them described by a judge as, quote, scary.
A massive manhunt underway for these 2 men who escaped overnight from a Washington state mental hospital. Police describe the men as dangerous, both deemed mentally incompetent to stand trial.
Because of the crimes that they committed, they're both, assumed to be dangerous to others.
Mark Alexander Adams and Anthony Garver were last seen at 6 p.m. in the hospital's dining room. Officials believe they escaped through a loose window in their room. Garver is accused of stabbing a woman 24 times before slashing her throat. This surveillance camera at a McDonald's caught Garver with the woman just days before her violent death. She can be seen buying him breakfast. The judge in Garver's murder trial described him as scary, to say the least. Adams was receiving treatment in connection with a 2014 domestic violence charge. Police warn anyone who sees the men to keep their distance and not engage them.
We wouldn't want anybody to compromise their safety for these 2 guys.
Law enforcement in the region is on high alert, and the U.S. Marshals have been identified. This is an urgent case, George.
Sure is scary. Okay, Pierre, thanks.
That's at the state mental hospital. That could lead to more escapes. Another patient is on the loose.
ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskuping is joining us now. And Dave, insiders warned this could happen. Do we know how this patient got out?
Yeah, well, Steve, sources tell me the patient broke a window to get out of the hospital, which is located right in the heart of Phoenix. Now, hospital officials say the escape happened just before noon, and the patient was apprehended minutes later, about 500 feet from the hospital gate. We're told that this was a civil patient, and that means they are court-ordered to the hospital to receive treatment for mental illness. They did not release the patient's name, so there's no information about this person's background. And like you said, this escape comes the day after our exclusive investigation revealed how security at the hospital was cut in half. In fact, this morning, in response to our stories, the director of the state health department wrote a blog touting how the security changes have made it a better and safer place. But getting back to today's escape, officials say the patient never got out of sight of hospital staff. But there have been other escapes in the hospital's past, including one from August, where those patients never returned. And tonight at 10, we're breaking another angle of our exclusive investigation where we take a closer look at those cases. Steve?
Thanks so much, Dave. Looking forward to it.
Shopping at the Twitter sphere.
Christian Snow is accused of doing some scary stuff, showing up to churches with a machete, stalking women, threatening them that he'll rape and torture them. Snow is on the loose. What is your biggest fear with Christian?
That he's going to kill his family.
Victims, family, friends living in fear, concealing their identity.
I'm terrified for my family members. I'm terrified for the people in our community.
Fox 2 covered 22-year-old Christian Snow's first escape back in February 2019. 21-year-old Christian Snow was found safe Thursday evening. He jumped out of a moving ambulance on I-75 near 696, headed to the behavioral centers of Michigan in Warren. Then Snow was found a day later outside of an Oakland County church.
It seems that every time he gets in trouble, he escalates even further.
Since then, people close to Snow say he's become a religious fanatic.
He got out of jail. He went into 3 different churches with machetes, stars, fighting stars, daggers.
Even threatening church leaders. Then an obsession with women, sending incessant messages too graphic for TV.
He started to stalk girls, became very graphic. would send videos cutting himself, threatening rape, threatening to burn down their homes.
He was supposed to be seeking mental health treatment after his latest arrest, but never did. Then Thursday, he was arrested in Warren. We're told he was in transport to the same mental health facility as the first time he escaped. It's unclear whose custody this time he escaped from.
And he's conniving and manipulative, and he can make you believe he's totally fine.
We're told he has easy access to knives and machetes and is considered armed and dangerous. Call 911 if you see Christian Snow. In Warren, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
But we begin tonight with breaking news in the search for two felons. Chesapeake police have apprehended one of the patients that escaped from a state-run mental facility today. Virginia State Police say Austin Lee and Bryant Wilkerson broke out of the Eastern State Hospital in Williamsburg, triggering a massive manhunt. Angela Vargas is live in Chesapeake where Lee was captured. Angela, what can you tell us?
That's right, Eugene. This has been an all-day search by state and local police. What we do know now is both men are convicted felons by police, and they also do say that Lee is in Chesapeake City Jail without bond, but they're still actively searching for Wilkerson. Police say these two men escaped from Eastern State Hospital in Williamsburg Sunday. A Virginia State Police spokeswoman says around 5:45 Sunday night, Chesapeake police officers arrested 31-year-old Austin Preston Lee. They are still searching for 29-year-old Bryant Marcus Wilkerson. Police say Lee faces drug charges out of Chesapeake and now for escaping a mental facility. The VSP spokeswoman says Lee does not know Wilkerson or where he is located. Wilkerson is wanted for a felony probation violation, and state police say he is considered armed and dangerous. Eastern State Hospital is not considered a maximum security building.
Eastern State is one of the largest hospitals in the Commonwealth that is utilized for restoring people charged with crimes to a competent state to stand trial. 13 News Now legal analyst Ed Booth says people escaping a mental health facility is rare. He says there are several reasons people enter a psychiatric facility. You wind up there because a judge has had you evaluated as a defendant, and a doctor has come back and said that this particular defendant is not competent to stand trial.
Booth says another reason may be for health and safety reasons.
There are also people who are sent there on temporary detention orders, when someone's found that they need to be hospitalized, but they're not charged with a crime.
Virginia State Police say troopers and local police departments are actively searching for Wilkerson across Hampton roads. Virginia State Police have not shared how that the two patients escaped the Eastern State Hospital or how Lee even got to the city of Chesapeake. We'll have those details for you as they become available. Live in Chesapeake, Angelo Vargas, 13 News Now.
All right, Angelo, thank you. And as you heard him say, one of the escapees, Bryant Wilkerson, is still at large tonight. Police say he's considered armed and dangerous. Wilkerson is a convicted felon with multiple warrants out for his arrest. And according to court records, Wilkerson is wanted on a felony probation violation and his past felony convictions he has in Chesapeake, Norfolk, and in Virginia Beach. If you know anything that can help police find Wilkerson, call the crime line at 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP, or you can submit the tips on P3 Tips app. And as always, you do not have to give your name.
Take a good look. This is him, Christopher Lee Prey. He's 39 years old and 6 feet tall, with brown hair and brown eyes. We're told he has stitches on his upper lip. When he escaped, he had on full restraints, including leg shackles, belly chain, and handcuffs. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, maroon sweatpants, and black rubber slippers. A spokesperson for the state hospital tells us Prey had an altercation with another patient at the hospital last night and needed to be taken to a local emergency department. When he got back to the state hospital, that's when he stole a white 2016 Dodge Caravan and took off southbound on I-5. Pictured here is what it looked like, but this is not the actual van. State police chased him but stopped due to safety concerns. They still don't know where he is, but believe he has ties to the greater Portland metro area.
I'm surprised anyone could escape from here.
Gabriel Garza has stayed at the state hospital before. He says getting out isn't easy.
20-foot walls, and it requires a key to get through. All the doors are locked with a key or electronic lock.
Though it's not clear if Prey was inside the hospital when he escaped. Now, court documents show Prey has a half-dozen pending criminal charges, including attempted murder, robbery, and assault charges from this past May. In another case, court documents show he's accused of robbing and shooting out the windows of a North Portland auto parts store last April. Now, last week, he was sent to the Oregon State Hospital for treatment after a judge ruled he was unable to stand trial on these charges. There are still many unanswered questions here, such as how was he able to escape with full restraints on? When we asked police, they told us they can be taken off with proper tools. It's unclear if that's what happened in this case. Meanwhile, Oregon State Hospital is conducting their own internal investigation.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
New tonight at 11 o'clock, a man who escaped from a local psychiatric hospital is back in custody tonight. Police were looking for this man, 34-year-old James Ray Gregory. They say he jumped from a second-floor window at Catawba Hospital in Roanoke County just before 7:30 tonight. They say Gregory stole a truck after his escape.
Anything else you would like to add?
No, we appreciate the community support and the assistance in this. Their quick reporting of what was going on around their residences, especially with the person that called in that he came up to their house and the person reported the vehicle stolen. They were instrumental in us getting our people in position and being able to successfully apprehend this individual.
You ready? Again, we're just getting bits and pieces of this tonight, but police were able to locate the stolen truck, and then they used spike strips to stop it and take Gregory into custody.
This man here was being held in a state facility because of his violent behavior at Port Columbus, and he's missing tonight. He got out of the Twin Valley Behavioral Hospital last night. NBC4's Ted Hart is live there to tell us more about this patient. Ted?
Well, Ellie, the Twin Valley Hospital here is a state-run mental health facility, and many of the patients here are here under court order, and that was the case with Tempetop Olai, who escaped here just about this time yesterday. Olai was arrested in January at Port Columbus. Police say that he had been yelling and cussing at passengers there in the baggage claim area. After he was apprehended and police were walking him to the airport police station, he started yelling toward passengers, "If I'm not out in 5 minutes, blow the plane." Well, the courts ruled that he was delusional and incompetent, and he was ordered here to Twin Valley. State officials aren't saying how he escaped, but the residents have different levels of privileges and access here. At least some in the neighborhood here find this escape somewhat alarming.
It scares me because there's kids in this neighborhood that I worry about. There's school right there. Highland Elementary, and somebody makes threats like that, that can't happen.
Now, the State Highway Patrol has alerted other law enforcement agencies about the escape, and they say they are following up on any leads that they get. Live on the west side, Ted Hart, NBC4.
A bent gate, the only sign of what happened at this business near the back entrance of Central State Thursday evening. The damage not discovered until early Friday morning.
People started coming to work, found that the gate had been forcibly opened and a Mack truck road tractor was missing from the property.
The damage and theft comes about the time Dinwiddie County Sheriff's investigators say they got a call from Central State Hospital concerning Zachary Oakey.
He didn't return back to his residence building from a detail he had working on the grounds.
Staff and sheriff's deputies couldn't find Oakey on the grounds, and a warrant for escape issued.
He walked away, didn't harm anyone, didn't use any force.
As for the stolen Mack truck, the company had a GPS on the big rig.
They were able to track the vehicle to the Baltimore area. Maryland State Police were contacted. They were able to locate the vehicle. The vehicle was driven by Mr. Oakey, and he was taken into custody in Maryland.
It turns out Oakey had walked away from Central State once before, back in 2019, and sheriff's investigators say that time he broke into the same business as he did Thursday night.
Stole a pickup truck and left the area He was picked up in Ohio.
Last November, Richard Wilson Garrett also walked away from Central State. He would be taken into custody 2 days later. Because of state and federal privacy laws, the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services can't confirm the identity of individuals in their hospitals. They did issue a statement to CBS 6, which reads in part, Central State Hospital is immediately looking into how this happened and adding preventative measures. It may be helpful to note that longer-term patients go through a process in their recovery that allows them increased privileges. It goes on to say, we don't just give up on patients who repeat mistakes, but patterns of behavior affect that privileging process, especially when ensuring public safety. In 2019, Zachary Oki was charged and convicted in crimes related to his escape. Now Oki's facing charges of escape, trespassing, damage to property, theft of a vehicle, and driving on a suspended license. Working for you, Wayne Koval, CBS 6 News.
Randall Saito went to school in Lodi and says he used to live here in Stockton. In fact, this is where his family lives and one of the reasons why he came here in the first place.
How easy was it for you to walk away from that hospital?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't that. I mean, if you're thinking that, oh yeah, I just could do that, no. You have to kind of know what was going on.
Behind a glass at the San Joaquin County Jail, Randall Saito is telling his story.
I've been in Hawaii State Hospital for 37 years consecutively, okay? During that time, my behavior has been nothing less than exemplary.
On Sunday, Saito escaped from a psychiatric hospital outside Honolulu. He jumped on a plane and ended up in San Jose. That's where he met a cab driver willing to drive him all the way to Stockton.
Stockton? He goes, I think he's Stockton. I was like, really?
Saito says he escaped because he felt the facility he was in was no longer safe. While in Stockton, Saito says he bought items at Walmart and stayed in a motel near Ernie's General Store. He did plan to go to Reno Wednesday morning, but was caught by San Joaquin County deputies.
This was a desperate measure for me. I've never attempted any kind of, brash undertaking such as this before.
He was found not guilty of a 1979 murder by reason of insanity. He tells me he's not a sex offender like everyone thinks he is and does regret his past.
The woman I murdered in 1979, God bless her soul, I have regretted it every day since the day it happened, and I pray for her every day.
Now, he does admit calling his family after San Joaquin County deputies made the arrest Wednesday morning. He's due back in court on Friday.
Police are searching for an officer-involved shooting suspect who escaped custody from a Columbus hospital. Police are searching for 38-year-old Jacob Davison, and right now he is facing charges stemming from a shootout with police in Morrow County last month. If you can help, he's right there on your screen. If you can help police find him, call 911.
A mass mobilization and search for a man who escaped from a Harlingen mental health facility has a happy ending. It was a search by land, by the water, and even in the skies. A patient at the Rio Grande State Center off Rangerville Road escaped from the facility around 9:30 a.m. Wednesday. The man, who didn't have any clothes on, jumped in the nearby Arroyo, Colorado. Harlingen police, firefighters, and Border Patrol all mobilized for a rescue mission. Authorities first searched the Arroyo, Colorado near California Street, but the man swam downstream, taking the search to Arroyo Park about 2 miles away. The San Benito Fire Department helped in the search, launching a boat in the water near McKelvey Park. But just minutes later, the man was rescued from the waters of the Arroyo next to the 77 Sunshine Strip Bridge. The man fought with rescuers and had to be hogtied and clothed with a blanket before being taken away on a stretcher. Harlingen Police Sergeant John Parrish spoke with Action 4 News about the incident. The man appeared to be unharmed from 3, 2, 1. The man appeared to be unharmed from the incident and was even talking while being taken away. Paramedics took the man to a local hospital for evaluation. The details of the man's escape are still not clear, but the case remains under investigation. Reporting from Harlingen, Sergio Chapa, Action 4 News.
Youngstown police caught 2 men who escaped from a mental health facility in Massillon. D'Angelo Young and Chad Van Horn were taken into custody within an hour after breaking free. They allegedly assaulted 2 staff members and stole a vehicle around 4 a.m. By the way, D'Angelo Young, on the right of your screen there, he was charged with shooting Cameron Miller in August, which left him paralyzed.
Right now, an urgent manhunt underway after a dangerous suspect attacks a woman.
Take a close look at this man, Daniel Heller. Police say the 30-year-old is possibly armed and dangerous after escaping from a mental health facility in Henderson this morning.
And this is a stolen car, a beige Honda Accord. You see it right here. He may be in tonight. 13 Action News anchor Masa Saidi joins us with why police feel he's such a threat. Masa.
Tricia, Steve, it's how police say he escaped by physically breaking down the door of that facility, approaching a woman in the parking lot, opening her door, grabbing her out of the car, throwing her on the ground, taking her keys and driving away with the door still open. Let's take another look at the car he took off in. It's a beige 2013 Honda Accord with a Nevada handicap plate E1801, last seen near Seven Hills Drive and St. Rose Parkway. After an encounter with police, they say Heller was put on a mental health hold. Officials so concerned he was checked into that facility in Henderson long term. Police say he had no guns when he escaped, but he's had guns in the past, so they're worried. People who know him tell me they had lost touch in recent months. If you spot Heller or the car, police say do not approach. Instead, immediately call 911. Masa Saidi, 13 Action News.